Ever had someone tell you a wild story late at night that kept you awake for hours? These legends spread everywhere, passed down for generations, and everyone believes them. Here's the truth. They're almost all fake. Today we're destroying America's biggest myths with cold hard evidence. Everything you thought you knew is about to change. 1. Picture this. You're in New York City when someone warns you about giant alligators living in the sewers. This legend claims families brought baby alligators from Florida in the 30s. When pets grew too big, owners flushed them down toilets. Those gators supposedly survived and bred in darkness, creating a colony beneath Manhattan. It's perfect horror movie material. There's just one problem. It's biologically impossible. Alligators are cold-blooded reptiles needing warmth and sunlight. New York's freezing winters and harsh sewer conditions would end them within days. The myth refuses to go away, but the alligators definitely would. 2. Every teenager knows this story. A young couple parks on a dark road when a radio report warns of an escaped patient with a hook for a hand. The girl gets spooked and begs to leave. The guy reluctantly agrees and speeds away. At home, they find a metal hook hanging from the door handle. This tale has scared kids since the 50s, and not a single word is true. Folklore experts trace this back as a cautionary tale invented by concerned parents. The goal: scare teenagers into better behavior. There's zero evidence a hook hand person ever existed anywhere in America. 3. Imagine bringing home a beautiful cactus. Days later, you notice it moving, almost pulsating like it's breathing. Before you react, the plant explodes violently, and thousands of baby tarantulas pour out everywhere. This nightmare scenario spread through the 80s, terrifying people nationwide. It's also completely impossible. Spiders don't lay eggs inside living plants. They create protective silk sacs and hide them in corners or carry them on their backs. The biology simply doesn't work. If your cactus appears to move, you're probably dealing with internal rot or mealybugs eating it from inside. Disgusting? Absolutely. Spider explosion? Not even close. 4. Here's the nightmare scenario. A traveler meets a stranger at a bar, shares a drink, and blacks out. They wake up in a motel bathtub filled with ice, with a phone and note saying, "Call 911 immediately." The reveal? A surgical mark. One organ has been removed by an illegal medical ring. This story terrified travelers in the 90s, but here's reality. It has never happened. Not once. The National Foundation has repeatedly debunked it. Organ transplant surgery requires sterile conditions, tissue matching, and life support equipment you cannot fit in a motel room. Biologically and medically, it's pure fiction, created as a cautionary tale. 5. Almost everyone tried this at a sleepover. You gather friends, turn off bathroom lights, and stand before the mirror in darkness. Then you say the words 3 times. Mary, Mary, Mary. According to legend, a terrifying ghostly woman appears behind you, face twisted in rage. Some versions say she'll scratch your face. Others claim she'll drag you into the mirror forever. Here's what actually happens. Absolutely nothing supernatural. Folklore experts explain this exploits our fear of mirrors and darkness. When you stare at your reflection in dim light, your brain creates distortions called the strange face illusion. She's never appeared to anyone. 6. For years, gamers whispered about a mysterious arcade machine called Polybius that appeared in Oregon in the early 80s. The legend says players experienced intense physical reactions, and government agents would visit the machines to collect data, suggesting a secret experiment. It's one of the internet's favorite mysteries. However, there is zero record of the game in any official arcade database from the time. Investigative journalists traced the myth back to a hoax created in the late 90s on a fan website. Polybius never existed. It was a clever piece of digital fiction. 7. Hollywood has taught us that tarantulas are nature's perfect threat. One bite and you're done. Slow, agonizing consequences. This has made them one of the most feared creatures in America for decades. Here's what movies don't tell you. Tarantula venom is remarkably weak for humans. A bite feels roughly like a bee sting. Painful and annoying? Sure. Life-threatening? Not unless you have an extremely rare specific allergy. Many species are so gentle that people keep them as pets and handle them regularly. They're gentle giants of the spider world, far more scared of you than you are of them. 8. There's a specific triangular patch of the Atlantic Ocean where ships and planes supposedly vanish at impossible rates. The Bermuda Triangle has become synonymous with unexplained disappearances and paranormal activity. Here's what actual data shows. The World Wildlife Fund and United States Coast Guard confirmed the Bermuda Triangle doesn't appear on their official list of the world's most dangerous waters. Why do incidents happen there? Because it's one of the most heavily traveled shipping lanes on the planet. More boats and planes mean more accidents. When researchers adjust for traffic volume, the disappearance rate is identical to any other busy ocean section. 9. Deep in Lake Champlain waters between Vermont and New York, something massive supposedly lurks. Locals call it Champ, described as a long-necked creature resembling the famous Loch Ness Monster. For decades, this was considered one of America's most credible cryptid sightings, especially after a photograph surfaced in '77 showing what appeared to be a creature rising from water. In the early 2000s, everything changed. Digital analysis revealed problems with the image. Then the photographer's own family came forward with a confession. What people thought was a lake monster was almost certainly just a floating log photographed at the perfect mysterious angle. 10. Since the 30s, drivers in Chicago report the same eerie encounter along Archer Avenue. Late at night, they spot a young woman in a white party dress standing alone by the roadside. She looks lost, so they offer a ride. She gets in quietly, barely speaking, and asks for a specific address. The driver agrees and heads that direction. But as they pass Resurrection Cemetery, they glance in the rearview mirror and find the backseat empty. The girl has vanished without opening the door. Chicago police have officially logged dozens of reports about this vanishing hitchhiker over decades from credible witnesses. 11. One of the most persistent celebrity legends claims that Walt Disney had his body cryogenically frozen after his passing in 1966, with plans to be revived when medical technology advanced. The story suggests his frozen body is stored beneath Pirates of the Caribbean at Disneyland, waiting for future resurrection. This legend spreads so widely that it's accepted as fact by millions. The truth is thoroughly documented. Walt Disney was cremated, and his ashes were interred at Forest Lawn Memorial Park in Glendale, California. His family has confirmed this repeatedly. The cryogenic freezing myth likely started because Disney was fascinated by futuristic technology, but there's zero evidence supporting it. It's completely fabricated speculation that became common knowledge. 12. After forest fires, firefighters supposedly discovered a scuba diver's body stuck in a tree, miles from any water. The legend claims firefighting planes scooped water from lakes to drop on fires and accidentally sucked up the diver, who was then dropped on the forest. This bizarre story circulated as true throughout the 90s. Firefighting agencies investigated thoroughly and confirmed it never happened. The physics make it impossible. Water-scooping aircraft use screens and filters that would prevent anything as large as a human from being collected. The intake pipes are too narrow. No scuba equipment has ever been found in water collection systems. Despite feeling like it could be real, it's complete fiction that persists because it's darkly humorous. 13. A customer at a fast food fried chicken restaurant bites into what they assume is an oddly shaped piece of chicken. It tastes strange. When they examine it more closely under better lighting, they realize with horror that it's actually a deep-fried rat that somehow made it through the cooking process. Disgusted and traumatized, they sue the restaurant chain for millions. This legend has attached itself to virtually every major chicken restaurant chain since the 70s. Health department investigations have found zero verified cases. The story persists because it exploits our fears about food preparation we can't see and our disgust response. Modern food safety protocols make this scenario virtually impossible. It's an urban legend, not reality. 14. In the 70s, a story circulated about a woman who went to a salon to get an elaborate, tall Beehive hairdo. She allegedly stopped washing it to keep the style perfect. Weeks later, she became unwell, and the story claimed insects had moved into her hair. Biologically, this is a total fabrication. Insects require a specific environment, moisture, and a steady food source, none of which they would find in a hairspray-covered style. It was a cautionary tale about hygiene and vanity. 15. In 1994, many were convinced that dangerous tropical bananas were being imported from tropical regions. The story claimed that touching the peel could lead to a rare medical condition. This spread so quickly that international health organizations had to issue a statement. The legend was actually a distorted version of a real but unrelated medical report about a common skin condition. There were no toxic bananas, but the power of the early internet made the world afraid of fruit for an entire summer. 16. Legend has it that when the tomb of King Tutankhamun was opened in 1922, a curse was unleashed on anyone who entered. The story grew when the financier of the dig passed away shortly after. However, data shows that of the 58 people present when the tomb was opened, only 8 passed away within the next 12 years. The leader of the expedition, Howard Carter, lived for another 17 years. Scientists believe any illness reported was likely caused by ancient mold spores or fungus in the enclosed space, not an ancient spell. 17. There's a widespread belief that major shopping malls across America were specifically designed to double as fallout shelters during nuclear war. The legend claims that during the Cold War, the government secretly required malls to be built with reinforced concrete, no windows, and specific layouts that could protect thousands of people from radiation. This story has been repeated so often that many people accept it as historical fact. The truth? While some government buildings were designed as shelters, shopping malls were not. They have minimal windows because it's cheaper to build and better for climate control. The layout maximizes retail space, not radiation protection. It's a Cold War myth that sounds plausible but has no basis in actual architectural history or government policy. 18. Many people believe that cow tipping is a common prank where people sneak into fields and push over sleeping cows. The legend says cows sleep standing up and are easy to topple. Physics and biology say otherwise. First, cows do not sleep standing up. They lie down for deep sleep. Second, a full-grown cow weighs over 1,000 pounds and has a very low center of gravity. A team of several strong adults would be required to exert enough force to tip a cow, and the animal would certainly wake up and move before it happened. It's a myth told to city dwellers. 19. You might remember being told that mixing Pop Rocks candy with soda would cause your stomach to explode. The legend became so large that the company had to take out full-page ads in newspapers to explain it was impossible. While Pop Rocks contain a tiny amount of carbon dioxide, the volume is far too low to cause any physical harm. Even when mixed with the carbonation in soda, the most you would experience is a very loud burp. The exploding stomach never happened to anyone, anywhere. 20. For decades, crop circles appeared in English fields, leading many to believe they were landing sites for extraterrestrial craft. The patterns were so complex that people argued they couldn't be man-made. In 1991, 2 men named Doug Bauer and Dave Chorley admitted they had been creating them since the late 70s, using nothing but wooden planks, rope, and wire. They demonstrated their technique to the media, proving that even the most alien designs were just the work of 2 dedicated pranksters. 21. There is a common belief that humans swallow an average of 8 spiders every year while they sleep. This fact is repeated in news segments and biology trivia. It's actually a complete lie. In 1993, a columnist wrote about how people believe everything they read on the internet and fabricated the spider swallowing study as an example of a fake fact. Spiders are sensitive to vibrations and heat. The last place they want to go is into a warm, breathing human mouth. 22. In the Victorian era, people became worried about the screaming mummy, a real archaeological find of a mummy with its mouth wide open in a silent yell. People claimed it was a person who had been trapped underground. Modern scans and forensic analysis revealed the truth. If the head is not secured during the preservation process, the jaw naturally drops open as the ligaments change over time. The scream was simply gravity and natural changes, not a sign of a final moment of fright. 23. A wealthy businessman suspects his wife of cheating. He returns home early from a business trip and finds a brand new Cadillac parked in his driveway that he didn't buy. Furious and assuming it belongs to his wife's lover, he calls a cement truck company and has the entire vehicle filled with concrete as revenge. Later, he discovers the Cadillac was actually a surprise anniversary gift his wife had purchased for him. This story has circulated since the 50s with various car brands and revenge methods. Despite being told as true across generations, there are no verified cases, insurance claims, or police reports matching this description. It's a cautionary tale about jumping to conclusions and acting on jealousy without evidence. 24. Across the world, people report earthquake lights, strange glowing orbs or flashes in the sky before a major tremor. While many thought these were UFOs or spirits, scientists have a geological explanation. When certain types of rocks like basalt or gabbro are under extreme stress during tectonic shifts, they release electrical charges. These charges travel to the surface and ionize the air, creating a brief glowing plasma. It's not supernatural, it's a giant natural battery being squeezed by the earth. 25. A driver picks up a hitchhiker on a lonely highway late at night. The mysterious passenger sits silently for miles, then suddenly speaks, making a specific prophecy about a major disaster that will happen on a certain date. Moments later, the driver glances over and finds the passenger has vanished from the moving car without opening the door. When the predicted date arrives, the disaster actually occurs exactly as described. This legend has appeared across cultures for over a century, with the prophecy changing to match current events. Despite thousands of tellings, there are no verified cases with actual evidence. It's a classic supernatural tale that combines our fear of the unknown with our fascination with predictions and destiny. 26. Many believe in the Hope Diamond curse, claiming that anyone who owns the massive blue gem will face terrible luck or tragedy. The legend lists a long line of owners who met unfortunate ends. Historical research shows that this curse was actually invented by a jewelry salesman named Pierre Cartier in 1910. He created the dark backstory to make the diamond more interesting and mysterious so he could sell it to a wealthy socialite. Most of the people on the cursed list actually lived long, successful lives. 27. Near Niagara Falls sits a limestone tunnel that's earned itself a genuinely mysterious reputation. The legend is simple. If you enter the tunnel at midnight and light a match in darkness, you'll hear screams echoing from somewhere in the shadows. Skeptics have a reasonable explanation. The tunnel's unique shape and acoustics amplify and distort any sounds in unsettling ways. A distant bird or the wind catching the entrance can sound like a human voice when it bounces off the curved limestone walls. 28. If you're hiking in California's Santa Lucia Mountains, you might see the Dark Watchers. Tall, shadowy figures that stand perfectly motionless against the sky. If you try to approach for a better look, they vanish instantly. This phenomenon has been reported for centuries. Psychologists explain this as a combination of pareidolia, the brain's tendency to see human shapes in random shadows, and the Brocken specter, a natural optical illusion where your own shadow is projected onto mist or clouds, making it look like a giant figure watching you. 29. You may have seen the Smiling Man story online about a person who encountered someone doing a strange dance down a city street with a frozen, wide grin. It became a viral sensation as a true encounter. In reality, the story was a piece of creative writing posted to a popular horror forum. The author eventually came forward to confirm it was a fictional story he wrote to see how people would react to uncanny behavior. It was never a police report, it was just a very effective piece of short fiction. 30. Almost everyone has used a Ouija board at a sleepover, convinced that spirits are moving the planchette to answer questions. It feels like an invisible force is pushing your hands. This is actually a well-documented psychological phenomenon called the ideomotor effect. Your muscles make tiny, unconscious movements based on what you expect to happen. You are moving the piece yourself without realizing it. When researchers blindfold Ouija players, the spirits suddenly become unable to spell even basic words. 31. There is a persistent myth that the actors in the movie The Wizard of Oz were wild and destructive behind the scenes. The stories claim they stayed in a local hotel and caused massive property damage. These legends were actually started by the film's lead, Judy Garland, during a television interview years later as a joke. In reality, the actors were professional performers who were working long, grueling hours on a high-budget set. The hotel records show no reports of the parties or damage that the myth describes. 32. Scattered across America are stretches of road that seem to defy physics. Put your car in neutral on these hills and something impossible happens. Your vehicle rolls uphill against gravity. Locals call them gravity hills and they become minor tourist attractions. The truth is far less exciting. It's an optical illusion. The surrounding landscape creates what's called a false horizon. Your brain uses the trees and the slant of the land to determine which direction is up. When these reference points are skewed, a slight downhill slope looks like an uphill climb. 33. A woman enjoys cookies at an upscale department store restaurant and asks for the recipe. The waiter says it costs $2.50. She agrees, assuming it means $2.50. Later, she discovers her credit card was charged $250. Furious at being deceived, she decides to get revenge by sharing the secret recipe freely with everyone possible, encouraging them to spread it everywhere. This story went viral before the internet existed, spreading through photocopied chain letters in the 80s. Multiple restaurant chains have been accused in different versions. All have confirmed they never charge for recipes. The story persists because it feels like satisfying revenge against corporate greed. It's completely fictional, but incredibly popular. 34. Deep in America's national forests, hikers occasionally stumble upon something that makes absolutely no logical sense: staircases. These freestanding staircases in the wilderness became an internet sensation, with people claiming they were portals or supernatural. Park rangers and forest historians eventually clarified the mystery. These are simply the remains of old homesteads, fire lookouts, or conservation camps from the early 20th century. While the wooden walls of the houses rot away over decades, the concrete or stone stairs remain perfectly intact, looking like they were dropped there by magic. 35. America's abandoned facilities have become popular sites for paranormal investigators. Visitors report shadow figures and mysterious sounds echoing through empty hallways. There's a scientific reason for this: infrasound. Many abandoned buildings have low-frequency vibrations caused by wind rushing through open pipes or old machinery. While you can't hear these frequencies, they are known to cause feelings of unease, chills, and even blurred vision that the brain interprets as unusual figures. It's a biological reaction to sound, not a haunting. 36. The story of the babysitter who gets an unsettling call and is told the call is coming from inside the house is a classic movie trope. It was meant to create suspense about the vulnerability of being home alone. However, in the 60s and 70s, when this legend started, phone technology made this scenario impossible. Tracing a call required the operator to manually hold the line open and physically check the switching equipment, a process that took hours. An operator could never have given an instant trace like they do in the movies. 37. You're driving alone at night when another car begins following you aggressively. They flash their headlights repeatedly, getting closer. Terrified, you speed up, but they stay right behind you, still flashing. You race home and run inside to call police. The driver who followed you approaches your door frantically. They explain they weren't trying to scare you. They saw someone hiding in your back seat, rising up repeatedly to attack you. Each time they flashed their lights, the person ducked back down. This story has circulated since the 70s as a true event that supposedly happened in various cities. Police departments nationwide confirmed 0 verified cases matching this specific description. It's a cautionary tale about checking your vehicle before getting in. 38. Parents hear that fast food restaurant ball pits are crawling with dangerous bacteria and even venomous snakes hiding beneath the colorful plastic balls. The legend claims people have been bitten or contracted illnesses from playing in ball pits. This story spread so rapidly in the 90s that many restaurants removed ball pits entirely out of fear. Health department investigations found that while ball pits do harbor more germs than other play equipment due to difficulty cleaning them, the dangerous snake stories are completely unverified. There are no documented cases of children being seriously harmed by hidden objects in restaurant ball pits. The legend exploits parental fears about unsupervised play areas and invisible contamination threatening their children's safety. 39. Here's something that seems completely harmless but has caused genuine panic for generations. The claim that if you accidentally swallow chewing gum, it stays in your stomach for 7 full years before your body can finally digest it. This myth has terrified children since gum became widely available. Here's what actually happens. Gum doesn't digest at all because your stomach can't break down the synthetic rubber and polymers. That part is true, but it also doesn't stay lodged in your digestive system. Your body treats it like anything else it can't process and passes it through normally within days, completely intact. 40. Remember being told you can see the Great Wall of China from space with the naked eye? It's taught in schools, repeated in trivia, presented as an amazing fact. There's just one problem. It's completely false, and astronauts have confirmed this repeatedly. From low Earth orbit, you cannot see the Great Wall without magnification equipment. Cities, highways, and airports are all easier to spot. The wall blends almost perfectly into the mountains and terrain. From the moon, you can't see any individual structures at all. This myth probably persists because it sounds impressive, but physics doesn't care about what sounds cool. There you have it. 40 terrifying legends that kept Americans up at night, all destroyed by cold hard facts. But every town has stories we didn't cover. Your hometown probably has that one legend everyone swears is true. I want to hear them. Drop your wildest local urban legend in the comments below. And if you enjoyed watching childhood nightmares get debunked by reality, hit that like button and subscribe for more myth-busting content. This has been Lying Legends, and I'll see you in the next video.